How far will Republicans go to bring America to her knees? That is the title of my op-ed today over at HartmannReport.com on behalf of Putin and Trump, frankly. And, I mean, there's little doubt now that Vladimir Putin is running the Republican Party. I don't know how you could come to any other conclusion. I mean, they're gutting aid to Ukraine. In fact, the last time that aid to Ukraine passed Congress was when Nancy Pelosi was running the House of Representatives. Republicans have been in charge for a year and a half now, or a little over a year, and nothing. Zero. Why? Because Putin runs the GOP. The Republicans are working to kneecap our economy. They're coming right out and saying it. They want to shut down the government because it'll cause a recession, because Donald Trump told them to, because Putin told Trump to. Putin would love to see America fall into a recession. It'd make it a lot easier to say, oh, well, we can't afford that aid to Ukraine, etc. Also, they're trying to whip up hatred by Americans against Americans. Look out for those black people. Look out for those brown people. Look out for this Hispanic. Oh, Jews over here. Look at Asians. It's Native American. Oh my God, queer people. It's a war. It's what is it? Omnium bella et bella. If I'm remembering right, it was a quote from Jefferson. It's Latin. It means a phrase of all against all. But anyway, this is what they want, and this is what Putin wants in the United States. He wants us to hate each other. They're promoting a civil war. They're openly calling for a civil war. You've got the governor of Texas openly saying, I'm going to defy the U.S. Supreme Court and the federal government. Try to stop me. And they're openly embracing replacing American democracy with authoritarian autocracy. In that, they have a role model. Vladimir Putin in Russia has declared war on queer people. He has proclaimed Russia a Christian nation, and he has shut down all the media that he calls fake news. In fact, if you even, refer to Ukraine as a war rather than a special military operation in Russia, you go to jail. Most recently, we've got this 3-year Biden bribery hysteria, the scam that Republicans in the House have been running, with a Russian spy. Getting their information. Oh, yeah, Biden took a $5 million bribe in Ukraine. Sure, yeah, here's the witness. Turns out the guy's a Russian spy. And it's Russian disinformation. And not only that, it was Russian disinformation from 2020. This was a story, Biden taking a bribe. This was a story that was intended, it's a lie, of course, it's a piece of Russian disinformation that was intended to help Trump win the 2020 election. And, of course, that's why Trump won't say anything bad about Putin, because, for 9 years now, Putin has been doing everything he can to help Trump become president. I mean, Putin even gave Trump his campaign manager. Paul Manafort used to work for Putin. He used to work for oligarchs, on behalf of Putin. He got Viktor Yanukovych installed as the dictator of Ukraine before the people there had a revolution and expelled him. He took millions of dollars from several Russian oligarchs, and then he came over to the United States and said, I'll run your campaign for free, Mr. Trump, on behalf of Mr. Putin. So now the battlefield is changing. Now that Republicans are cutting off aid to Ukraine, the Russian attack on democracy is moving, it's continuing in Ukraine, of course, on the battlefield, the physical battlefield. But now it's shifting to the United States. Now Putin has his crosshairs on us, on taking down American democracy, on stirring up hate among Americans. And the principal instrument he's using is the Internet Research Agency, the IRA, his troll army that's based out of St. Petersburg but has offices all over the world. And he's got, Mike Johnson doing it. Donald Trump has been in the Russians' pocket since the 90s, arguably since the 80s, when he first went to Russia and came back and did a test run up in New Hampshire about running for president. But more recently, in the 1990s, he declared bankruptcy, 4 times, 6 times? I believe it was 6 times. He lost $1 billion running a casino. How do you do that? I don't think anybody in history has ever lost money running a casino. Well, I guess you can do it if you just pay yourself a massive salary all the time until, and drain the business to the point that it's broke, which is apparently what Trump did. But how did he get out of that bankruptcy? How did he end up not being homeless in New York City? Russian money. A bunch of Russian oligarchs bought a bunch of Trump properties and delivered to Donald Trump literally hundreds of millions of dollars, for his property. Some of them just wildly inflated in price, and the Saudis as well. And so now Trump owes Putin. He owes him big time. He owes him for rescuing his real estate empire in the 90s. He owes him for making him president in 2016. And he's hoping that Putin will make him president again in 2024. And Putin's working on it. They're working on it hard. I mean, those troll farms are running full steam, full tilt boogie. So I guess the question, will Putin succeed? Will Putin and Trump succeed in turning America into something that very much resembles modern-day Russia, modern-day Hungary? Or not? I think they're going to fail. I'll just tell you up front, hold off on the suspense here. I think they're going to fail. But I think it's going to be a very, very painful process.